Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm a second year gardener and this is my gardening vlog. I'm starting this vlog because I am a second year gardener, and in my first year of gardening I saw a lot of really good videos from a lot of really talented, experienced gardeners, and that helped me a lot. But something that I didn't see so much of was people like me who were just starting out. And it was really easy to believe early on that gardening should be easier than it was for me. And so now that this is my second year gardening, what I wanted to do was be able to share my experiences with people. I have a little bit of experience, so I am like starting to tweak things and improve things, but I do anticipate failing quite a lot. And I want people to be able to watch me and see those failures and also the successes and feel like they're not alone in seeing all these amazing gardeners and trying to implement those strategies and seeing them not work perfectly the first time. So today it is January and I am already so excited for my garden this year. And I thought I would start off just by showing you guys what I am starting with, what I'm working with. My seeds came in yesterday and I am so excited about them. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So these are all of my seeds. I may have gotten super excited looking at the catalog and gone a little overboard, but I have them separated out. I have my hot peppers here, tomatoes, and one tomatillo here, sweet peppers. This is kind of miscellaneous herbs and flowers. And up here I have beans, peas, radishes, leafy greens, and some carrots. And over here I have my garden plan. So last year I kind of started with no plan and I was like, oh, I'll just plant this here, plant this there. But this is my intense planting. So I have one small 4x4 bed and then a larger raised bed that I kind of inherited from some neighbors. Currently I have onions in this portion of the bed and I have literally no idea when I'm going to harvest them. But basically I'm doing all of my cold weather planting out and getting ready for the summer planting, trying to make sure that everything I'm planting is going to be in and out of the beds before I need to plant my tomatoes and my peppers and stuff like that. Also, since it is a warm and, well, relatively warm and sunny day out here, I thought it would be a great day to take you guys out and actually show you the state of my garden. All right, so out here is my yard. You can see there are several potted, well, there used to be potted plants out here, and I've recently emptied out all of the pots. I had basically all of my peppers out in these pots because, to be quite honest, I went to Lowe's to get like a couple of things and I saw all of their pepper plants on sale and I was like, ooh, I want that one and that one. And then before you know it, I had all of this and also all of that. And that's not even the half of it. So let's continue. So out back here, out behind my fence, I have this little 4x4 raised bed. In it right now I have garlic, there's a sage plant back there in the corner, and there's some carrots and like one turnip back there. And basically I thought that these carrots were not going to really survive. It got cold and I was like, oh, I planted them too late. But if you look down here, you can see, whoops, gotta move some stuff out of the way. You can see that there's an actual carrot down there, and I'm actually really excited about that. And there's a little bit of new growth right up in there. And I think it's just because we've had such an unseasonably warm winter here in South Carolina, where I am, that basically the cold weather stuff is just kept on growing. So probably just gonna leave these in the ground until I actually have something to use them for, and then we'll pull them up and get ready for the early spring garden. And also to get ready for that, I have here a little greenhouse that I got. It's actually my very first greenhouse. I put it together something like a week ago now, and I'm very excited for it. I am not 100% sure how warm it's going to be, so I've been trying to keep track of the temperature. You can't really see it very well through the plastic, but during the day it'll add like something like 20 degrees to the outside temperature, even with these little side vents open. And at night it seems to not be that effective. I really wish that I could afford to buy some sort of like Wi-Fi connected thermometer to keep track of that temperature, but you know, this little analog thing, that's what I got for my $11. And so over here, from this last summer, I have a trellis. I'm kind of proud of this trellis because I put it together very haphazardly by myself, and I didn't plan it very well, but it still turned out okay. There, if you look here at the top, there is this convenient nail right there that it's hanging on, and that's literally all the support that it has. That was actually already stuck in my fence, and I was like, ooh, this will help me hold it up while I put it in the ground, and then it just stayed there. And then down here at the bottom, I've basically just dug it into the ground. I dug a little hole with a shovel, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna stick that into the ground, and it stayed. Right here I have some snow peas. They like kind of half died and then came back, and they haven't really produced any pea pods because I think I planted too late in the fall for them. I was told they were supposed to be frost hardy, and then basically it just got really cold and they were like, nope, no more peas. But the plant is still alive, and I just suppose I'll leave it until I need the space for something else. And so originally this was the space I was working with. It was basically just this raised bed here. And then last year, halfway through the summer, down here where I'm gonna take you, my neighbors were working on this raised bed, and they had planted some stuff. And just through the course of how things progressed, they decided that they couldn't take care of it anymore. And so I inherited it, and I was very happy to start taking care of it, because at this point the garden fever was so bad that I was just growing everything. I wished I could buy even more plants, and thankfully I stopped myself. And my mom was just like, well, at least you're addicted to plants. But this is what I've got here. In this bed last year there were habanero peppers, banana peppers, there was a bell pepper, a jalapeno, and a gigantic cherry tomato. And if I can find a picture of it, I will post it in somewhere. But basically it was an indeterminate tomato plant, and it was not pruned properly from the beginning. So it, instead of being single stemmed, it was a bush, and it got to be so large that I just like literally could not reach my arms up high enough to stake it up off the ground. And so we actually lost a lot of tomatoes because all the branches are falling on the ground and things are rotting, and it was not so great. But currently I have in here some little onions. And again, I really have no idea how these are doing, to be honest. I was told you could overwinter onions, and that they would be ready to harvest sometime in the spring. I feel like my onions are a little behind where onions normally would be this time, based on some videos I've seen. But you can see some of them are starting to look like the leaves are getting thicker, and like they don't look like they're dying. They do look like they're growing. So hopefully I will have some onions in a few months, especially when I'm looking to plant this bed with tomatoes and peppers. And then this last little bit here, that part was never planted originally. I mean, I suppose it was planted at some point, but when I came to it, that part was still very overgrown. So just like a couple of days ago, I cleared that out and got it ready, and I think I'm gonna put spring carrots in that section this year. So yeah, that is what I'm starting with this year. It's not a lot compared to some of the gardeners that I see on YouTube, but it is definitely more than like the little balcony set of pots that I used to have. And I just really hope that as I show you guys my successes and of course my failures, which I'm sure there will be a lot of, that it like really encourages you to keep trying at the gardening thing, because I know I've seen so many of these gardeners say and talk about how they used to fail a lot when they were starting out, but we don't really get to see a lot of that as they go through it. And I just really want to make something of the failures that I know I'm going to experience, and hopefully inspire at least one or two of you to keep going with it, because ultimately gardening does bring me so much joy, and I want everybody to be able to have that from gardening if that's what they want. To understand what it means to be true to yourself. Our lives are a short amount of time. I'd rather live with a smile, knowing I'm me. I will stand up tall with my face to the sky and realize that I'm perfect the way I am. I won't let them get the best of me. I'd rather stand out and just be me. I'd rather stand out and just be me. I'd rather stand out and just be me. Thank you guys for watching.